Okay, welcome back to the channel and another live stream. I haven't had the time to make a video this week, so I've decided to do a live stream on my way to work. I'm going to go a slightly different way today because Google is saying the traffic is pretty bad along the seafront, so I'm going to go over the A27. So just give me a couple of seconds. Obviously, I'm driving, so I won't be able to read the chat. So I haven't actually driven to work this way before, so it might be better going this way. So something happened a couple of weeks ago now, and I've been umming and ahhing about what to do about it. So as you know, I left Brighton on Hove because another driver reported me. I haven't actually told anyone at all who that driver was for two reasons. One, I want to protect that driver because obviously no one likes someone who is going to report you. So yeah, I wanted to protect them, and also I wanted to see if this information come to light, because I would imagine that driver who reported me isn't going to make it very clear that they reported someone and resulting in them losing their job. So if that information came to light, i.e. who it was and so on, then obviously it's not come from me, it's not come from them, which only leaves one place for it to have come from. So, an employee of any company is covered under certain laws. One of those laws is confidentiality. Every company, every manager has to follow these laws, or they can find themselves in serious trouble. I'm sorry, I'm driving, I can't read the comments, so I will have a look when I get to work at the comments, if I can find them. So yeah, you're covered under certain employment laws. Anything that is said to a manager in the privacy of their office is confidential and should not and must not be shared with the employees. And as I say, the company can get into serious trouble for this. So a couple of weeks ago, I was on the 52 and I got up to Hollingbury Asda, and I saw a driver up there, a driver that I'll get on with. I actually bought this car from him. He helped me out massively with that, so I've no issue with this particular driver. He's a really nice guy, and as I say, he's helped me out massively in the past, so yeah, no issue with him. But I was chatting to him, and he said the same as what everyone else has said. I was shocked that you left and all the rest of it. And I was like, yeah. And I started going into what I have been saying, yeah, another driver reported me, la di da di da. And he said, yeah, I know. And then said the name of the driver. I was shocked. I was seriously shocked. I was like, how the hell have you got that information? I actually asked him, I was like, how do you know that? And he wouldn't tell me. So I was shocked. So, how has he got the name of this driver? That is the question, isn't it? Like, I haven't told anyone. Pretty sure the other driver who reported me hasn't told anyone. So, that means that that information that another driver had came from management. So, I've got to admit, it wound me up a little bit. Not that he knew, I mean, as I say, I get on with him really well, and he's a really nice guy. And but the fact that the company, yet again, on the surface level, appears to have broken the law, or a certain manager has broken the law. Um, so initially, I was fuming, actually, absolutely fuming, because I've seen this happen. I've heard things that I shouldn't have heard, that should have been confidential. So I knew it happened. Um, and this is the second reason why I point blankly refuse to tell anyone. Because if this happened, and I sort of thought it would, it can only come from one place, and that is management. So obviously, it doesn't bother me too much. I'm no longer there. It really makes no difference to me either way. Um, it's the other driver I feel for, because if that driver's name gets put around as being the person that reported me, that led me to leaving the company, that could, and I say could, I hope it doesn't, because the complaint wasn't of the same severity as the company made it to be. Um, it could make their life difficult. I hope it doesn't. And if any drivers watch this, please bear that in mind. The complaint against me wasn't of the same severity as the management made it to be. But yeah, what did I do about this? Well, like I say, I was fuming, absolutely fuming. So I did look at my options. I've done some research. I contacted ACAS. I emailed ACAS and explained the situation. Um, they advised me to contact another company similar to ACAS, but they deal with data breaches. But obviously, in that time, I've calmed down, and I really don't want to get the driver that I spoke to into trouble, because if I cause trouble for the company, that could cause issues for him, and I don't want to do that. Um, but yeah, I've been mulling over what to do about it. Do I go down the official route and report the company for breach of uh, confidentiality? Do I just let it slide? or do I contact the company themselves? Do I contact the managing director? I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the kind of thing that I had to deal with Brighton and Hove, and the drivers there are still having to deal with. It's a shame, it shouldn't happen, but it does. I'm still undecided on whether to take official action or not. I don't know what can be done about it. The damage is done. But yeah, confidentiality is quite a serious thing. How it can be proved is difficult. So obviously that is another reason why I'm sort of thinking maybe not. But it is what it is. In all honesty, I just want to put Brighton and Hove behind me. It was a bad choice of mine to go back there. When I left in 2015, I left because I could see the way the company was going. And I actually said that in my resignation letter as well. I could see how the company was going, and that's why I left back in 2015. But yeah, I chose to go back. I got blinded by the money. I was at Stagecoach, as you know. If you go back a little bit in my library, you'll see videos where I was at Stagecoach, and I was happy at Stagecoach. It was a nice environment at Stagecoach. Some of the routes were a bit gnarly, some of the shifts were a bit gnarly, but yeah, the environment was nice. And I got wooed by money, tempted by money. So yeah, like I say, it was a mistake going back to Brighton and Hove. I knew it was a mistake even when I was doing it, but I did it anyway. So ultimately, that's on me. However, having said that, it's turned out okay because I'm now at Compass. I'm really happy at Compass. The environment at Compass is second to none. Yeah, it's a bit further away for me to travel, but it's not actually that far. It's about 25 minutes, half hour. Obviously, with my autism as well, the fact that I only do 2 duties is really beneficial to me. I start and finish the same time every day, apart from today. Obviously, Sundays we have Sunday duty. Again, it's only 52s and 47s, but it's only really a 6-hour duty of actual work time. So my official book on time is 11:45, but my start time at Brighton is 12:45, and I finish at Brighton at about 7:10, I think it is, something like that. So the duty itself isn't too bad. I've got to fuel the bus today. That's one of the differences between Compass and the other companies I'll work for, is you actually have to fuel the bus yourself. They give you a fuel card and it's no drama, no big deal. But nice being up there, not driven on the A27 for ages. no traffic lights. So yeah, that happened a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I was surprised. I don't know why I was surprised because I was expecting it. Um, it's a shame more than anything. I was disappointed, and I know the manager who it would have come from as well, because one of the managers at Conway Street doesn't really talk to the drivers that much. The other one does, and actually married to a driver. So I suspect that's where it came from. But obviously, confidentiality laws, like, and this is just me hypothesising. I've no facts or proof or anything. But just for a hypothetical statement, confidentiality laws mean that whatever happens in the workplace, you can't even talk to your partner about. So I suspect that's where it came from. Like I say, I've no proof, but it's very naughty. And if I did have proof, that manager would be in a lot of trouble. So I can see comments popping up on the screen. Obviously, I'm driving, so I can't read them. I do apologise for that. So yeah, I'm really unsure on what to do about that. I have spoken to a couple of drivers about it, and they've said that I should do it officially, but I don't want to put a target on this other driver's back, and it would. But yeah, anyone who is currently a driver or an employee at Brighton and Hove, just be careful what you tell the management. I suppose they just thought, oh, he's not here now, so it doesn't matter. But actually, it does. Or maybe they just thought I don't talk to anyone now. But I do, I talk to a lot of the drivers. And on reporting drivers, I've only ever reported one driver, and that was for being over the drink drive limit, for drink driving. Um, and again, I didn't say it definitively. I didn't say this driver is over the limit. Obviously, I can't do that. But there was a suspicion, a strong suspicion from what the driver was saying. And generally, my rule of thumb is um, if I have that suspicion, I'll say, look, go home. If I smell alcohol on them, if they're acting inebriated, or if, as in this case, they're saying what they're saying, um, I'll say, look, go home. It's not worth the risk. One, you're at risk of losing your job, and secondly, you're at risk of killing someone. And that's the only thing that I would report a driver for, and I've made this very clear. Um, this driver decided to go out anyway, and the deciding factor was obviously the buses go through the centre of town, and obviously town is very congested. And on that particular day, my wife and kids were going to town. So I decided that I'm not going to have that on my conscience. I'm not going to have a driver that has clearly stated that they've only had a few hours sleep and spent a silly amount of money on alcohol the night before. Now, this was at 5 o'clock in the morning, by the way, as well. Um, I feel if he has an accident or kills someone, I'm not going to have that on my conscience. So, yeah, I did report. I didn't say he was driving under the influence. I just repeated what he had said to me. Turned out that they went and checked his driving. He was driving erratically. They pulled him off breathalyzing, but he actually passed the breathalyzer. So he did actually keep his job. But like I say, that is the only person I have ever reported in my life. I've not even reported bad driving when I've been a passenger. It's not something I do. I'm not going to cut another driver's throat. Um, but obviously, some drivers do, and that's fine, each to their own. But obviously, everyone's going to be aware of the drivers that are reporting you for whatever. And that is exactly why I have not mentioned who this driver is. I've not said who they are because I don't want them to have that stigma, because the complaint against me was not of that severity. They just asked for the manager to have a quiet word with me. All right, twice. Grantedly, it was twice, but they both times they just asked for the manager to have a quiet word with me, and it was the manager who decided to make it gross misconduct. So, but that's just the kind of place it is. So I've just come off the A27 and I've just gone past the Amex and I'm going down the road. So I'll go down here as far as Woodingdean and then turn right and go down Warren Road, is it? Which will take me straight to Comfort, pretty much. And hello to everyone that is watching. I do apologise, I can't read the comments. Obviously, I'm driving, so I can't be looking at my phone, reading comments. I still haven't figured out how to read comments after the fact, how to get them on the screen. Oh, there must be a way, but I don't know. I don't know how to do it. The trouble is they come up and they don't stay on the screen. So, and then I don't know how to find them. So I do apologise for that. When I go live on the computer or I'm actually holding it, obviously I can. What the hell is going along here? We got a lot of traffic, man. I suspect Google lied to me on this is the best way to go. Ugh. So I've literally just gone past the Amex and I've hit bumper to bumper traffic. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, apparently I can read the comments if I watch the live back myself. But obviously then it's too late to respond to them. I suppose I could respond in other videos, but it's not a bad idea actually. So yeah, if you've got any questions, whack them in the chat, and I may do another video where I address those questions. As you can see, I'm in my waterproof high vis again. The weather's meant to be diabolical later today and tomorrow. Gusts of up to 50 mile an hour, which will be really fun going over the cliffs towards Woodendene and Saltdean. It was a bit blowy. It's been a bit blowy for a couple of weeks actually over there. But yeah, that could be interesting later today and tomorrow. Oh, this looks like it's all the way down to Woodendene. What's the time? I haven't got a clock because my audio is going through the car system and my clock isn't on my phone, and because it's going through my audio system, I haven't got the clock on there either. So I haven't got a clock, so I've no idea how I'm doing time. It's quite nice around today. Got the fields, the sheep. But yeah, I am very, very glad to have left Brighton and Hove. And that is the way I'm naturally leaning, is to just let it slide and have done with it. Obviously, I'm talking about it, so this will be going out on YouTube. But that's mainly to make drivers aware, because sometimes drivers have delicate situations, and when you're in a company, you need to be aware of the fact that actually the delicate situation you're talking to the manager about may not actually be kept private, which is a real shame. The company, Brighton and Hove, isn't trusted as it is, so, and they wonder why the company isn't trusted. Breaching confidentiality is a top reason why a company is not going to be trusted. This is very slow. Google did say coming this way was going to be quicker, so maybe, who knows. I'm not sure I would ride a motorbike round a blind bend on a national speed limit road. Doesn't seem the safest thing to do to me. So I started recording a video yesterday and I didn't finish it, so I may continue it today. Hi Owen, I can't read your comments, I'm driving, so I can't answer your questions at the moment. I do apologise. But yeah, I do, on reporting drivers, I do feel like there are certain things that you should report other drivers for, like drink driving, but mostly not, because camaraderie amongst the drivers is really, really important. And I have noticed a change in that over the last year or so. Um, when I first became a bus driver, it was drummed into you, regardless of what company you work for, you'd always let another bus out of a bus stop, you'd always let another bus out of a side street or a turning, and they would do the same for you. Um, if a driver from another company in another part of the country got on with a staff pass, and you'd let them on, you'd travel. Right, whether the company accepted that pass or not, it was driver etiquette. You just allowed other drivers to travel. But you'd certainly never report another driver unless it was a safety issue. Um, so I still hold that gig because I think that's the best way of doing it. Like, we're all drivers, regardless of what company you work for. We're all drivers. We're all doing the same thing, and we all want to do the day and go home. The company politics and how companies are with each other, it's nothing to do with us. We're the workhorses. We're the ones doing the job. But I have noticed, particularly over the last year, um, drivers at Conway Street, some drivers reporting other drivers for really silly things. Um, and the funny thing about it is they seem to have this notion of, like, if they're grassing up other drivers, that it puts them higher up. It really doesn't. They're just as likely to get the sack as anyone else. Okay, they're probably more likely to get promoted than anyone else, but even the supervisors, like, they have to watch their back as well, because they do anything wrong, they'll be out the door just as quick as anyone else. Now, I don't know what that is like with other companies. It's certainly not like that at Compass from what I've seen and heard. Obviously, I've been at Compass just over a month now, and I still have not heard a single driver badmouth the company, not one, and that's really telling, really telling. Certainly in the bus industry, because bus drivers like to complain, and the fact that I've been here over a month, about 6 weeks, I suppose. Um, the fact that no one has badmouthed the company, that's very telling. Obviously, it's not perfect. No company's ever going to be perfect. But I can't pinpoint anything that I would complain about at the moment. Apart from this traffic being a pain in the arse. We are now in Woodingdean though, so it's not been too bad. How many people have we got watching? Oh, I've got 4 viewers at the moment. But yeah, I did ask um, the driver how he knew, and he just said, "It's not who you know, it's who you blow." I don't know what that means, but it can only have come from one place, in my opinion. I need to be careful, though, because one day a driver is going to have proof, and yeah, then they'll be in a lot of trouble. If I had the proof without any shadow of a doubt, I definitely would report it to the relevant authorities. I may still contact the company and put in a complaint. So what am I on today? So off the top of my head, I've only done the duty once, but apparently the duty my line has on a Sunday is a filler duty, for want of a better term. I do little bits to enable other people to have their break. So I believe I'll get there. My first run is Saltine and back. My second run is on the 52. It's either Woodingdean or back or Patcham and back. I can't remember. And then I believe, or is it? I know it's 52, but it might actually be a full round trip. I can't remember. I think I only have an hour break on Sunday. I know I get to Patcham and I've got to fuel the bus. I'll find out soon enough. So we're at Downs Hotel. So now I head back towards Brighton to the race hill or the race course, and then I go over the race course and down Warren Road, I think it's called. I don't know. So yeah, I haven't been able to record a video this week, or edit a video, I should say. I just haven't had time, so that's why I thought I'd do this live on the way to work. It's quite humid though, feeling quite warm. It's not a bad drive that actually, going that way. It feels longer, it's a much further distance. But apparently today was 10 minutes quicker. Oh dear. So apparently, I don't know if it's true, but it's what I've been told. The Brighton depot now is fully staffed, um, and apparently they want one more person on my line, coming out of Worthing but working at Brighton. Apparently, it's rumoured that my line is coming over to Brighton. So it'll mean that I won't get paid the travel time, but that won't really impact me too much because my first month's pay was only 3 weeks anyway, and since then we've had a pay rise as well. So losing that, I think it's 14 hours a week, um, won't actually make that much of an impact. Obviously, the drivers that have been on it a little while and live over in Worthing or beyond, it will impact them much more. I'd imagine some of those will come off it and just go to Worthing. For me, I live in Lancing, so doesn't really make a great deal of difference whether I drive to Brighton or Darrington. So we just follow this road all the way down and I'm at work. Feeling a bit peckish. Maybe I should have had something to eat before leaving, but it is what it is. So yesterday I was on 47s and over in Saltdean, a couple of people had parked their cars pretty much opposite each other. Very tight. It was so tight that I actually had to get out the bus to see exactly what room I had because I couldn't see from where I was. But yeah, Lee, if you're watching this or you watch this on the replay, get your application in. We're nearly full up. There's a lot of traffic. I'd imagine the seafronts were. So again, the links are in the description below for the things that I use, seeing as I'm nearly at work. If you're interested in any of those, go and take a look. This is one of them. There's waterproof boots and a number of things down there that will benefit all of you, really, dependent on what you want to do. Oh, we're nearly there. quite like the 47 route. It's quite a nice route. I quite like the 52 route as well, to be honest. A bit twisty turny. I have put the full route of both in the routes playlist. I still have some routes to do on that. But yeah, they're not bad routes. Timings are a bit tight on the 47 in particular, but yeah, they're certainly not the worst I've ever driven. We're coming down the back of Whitehall bus garage at the moment. What I would say to other drivers is if you experience a breach of confidentiality and you're still in working for that company, report it. You have to report it because it's a big no-no. See, there's a difference between reporting management and reporting a company to reporting other drivers. Like I say, I've never even put in a complaint against another driver. That doesn't mean to say I wouldn't. I would if they were driving erratically or they're being dangerous or they're being just shitty with me. And what I mean by shitty with me, like, I have noticed that one or two, oh God, getting a bit funny with me, which there's no need because, like, what happens is nothing to do with them. But true colours do come out, and there are one or two very narcissistic drivers. What are they doing parking buses in my parking space? Very rude, parking buses in my parking space. Anyway, I'm at work, so I'm going to leave this live stream here. Thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the like and subscribe button and consider becoming a member. There will be some exclusive videos on there. I've been thinking about repurposing the videos that I did or re-editing the videos that I did when I was a taxi driver. If I do that, they will be for members only. There will be exclusive videos from here as well that will be members only, and I will be doing exclusive live streams as well. That will normally be after I finish driving home. So yeah, consider becoming a member. That will also help me and the channel out. And that all being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.